behind CarolJo's, which is where creativity and community come together for the jewelry making world. So we do lots of different things here. Sorry, we're gonna have some ripping noise like that. We do twice a week. We do live events where call them chat times. That's what we're going to be doing today. That is your time to be able to ask questions about jewelry making, or it's your time to ask about running a small business, anything you would like along those lines. So we do that twice a week. We have it today, and we are going to do it on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central also. And then what else we do here is that we do tutorials, which is where I show you step by step how to create different things. This week we have a 9 millimeter silicone tutorial because will be launching the 9 millimeter silicone beads this week. We also will have another tutorial that we are calling, and the silicone tutorial is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then we will have at 2 p.m. on Friday, and that's at Central Time. It's called Switch It Up Charm Bracelet. And it's a way that I'm going to show you how you can create a charm bracelet and change your charms on it and do different things and make it however you would like to create and adjust your jewelry for whatever day. We're going to have that. Then we do not have a makers meetup this week. We will be live throughout the week with different events. We're going to have a silicone event on Saturday at 10 a.m. Central. Oops, I put it at 12. It really will be at 10. I need to switch that. I forgot to switch it back. Or we can start it at 12. You guys can let me know. We will also be doing bead debut tonight. Hi, Kay. How are you doing? And I have the last of the curved tube beads that are acrylic. We'll have those tonight, along with some other really cool beads. Tomorrow and Thursday at 2 p.m., we will have an encore event on TikTok. And then Friday night, we will have at 7 p.m. another debut. So we have a full calendar here for this week on TikTok. I do my tutorials and chats on YouTube. Hi, Miss Joya. So that's what we have going on. As always, every Monday, we go over our, what am I trying to call it? We go over, why can't I think of it? The Motivational Monday post. And I'm trying to get there. There we go. There we go. So I can read it. I'm doing good. It has started out to be a good week. Our quote this week, and when I read it, I liked it. Of course, that's why I posted it. It says, "Your creativity grows every time you choose to begin." Now, it doesn't mean that every single time that you create that it is going to turn out awesome. I forgot to say something here at the beginning. If you are on TikTok, can you guys please share and like? We do not have Ashley on today, and so we're not getting out to everybody. How you can share is one of two ways. You can hit that arrow button down below and you can add it to your story. If you add it to your story, then other people will see it. I just did that. I'm going to go to my backup account and do that too. Or you can repost and then it goes out to the FYP. Oh, oh no, you got a little bit of sun. If I didn't have foundation on, I would look like a raccoon right now too. We got sun yesterday. Ryan and I went in the newest Mustang that he got done. And so I'm a little bit red. So I get you, Joya. So we will have but what I was gonna say about that um quote is I just love it for the fact that you can go into things and not realize you don't have to have something every single time. Oh, yeah, it was warm here yesterday. So yeah, anytime the sun is out, you got to think you can get a little red. And so, what I wanted everybody to understand from that quote is that um, you can learn, you can grow. And you know what? Just like when we did last week's maker meetup, it wasn't always done on the first try. And it wasn't even, I think, on the second try. I think it took me 3 tries to be like, I got it. And then we went on from there. So that's what I want to say about it is that you don't have to always be like, it's there right away. So that's what I wanted to do for our makers meetup. What I was working on there is something I'm going to take to the other place. And it is a tool that I've had for a while that I'm just like, okay, we need to get it out of here because I keep tripping over it. All right. But I want to show you what tomorrow, I've already made tomorrow's example. So we've done this before, but I didn't think about it from, thank you, Ducky, for the heartbeat, from the aspect of it being, when we did it before, we used 15 and 12 millimeter size beads. And I'm like, I wonder if I use a 12 and 9 millimeter size beads, what will it look like? So I'm going to show you what it looked like the first time we made it with the 12 and 15 millimeter size bead. And I'm getting to my backup account, everybody. So, and then I want to share and put it on my story. So give me a second to get that all done here quick. There. Oh, it wants me to do that's not what I wanted to do. Here's what I wanted to do. All right, that wasn't what I meant to do. There, repost. I got it. Finally, I reposted it, everybody. And then we are going to add it to my story on my backup account. There we go. Maybe, there we go. Now I can read comments because before comments were flying with the shares and the likes. Go. Okay. He just doesn't want me to. I'm like, seriously, I wanted to go back. Okay, I got all the comments. Whoops, not there. Wow. Okay, I'm going to show you. So this is what we had done before. We had created this keychain as a bow. These are 12 millimeters. The center one is a 15 millimeter. And I'm like, could it be cute with 9 and 12? Here it is with 9 and 12 millimeters. The center one is a 12. The 9 are on the sides. Look at the size difference. It's like a mama and a baby. But I think I like the 9 millimeter better. It's just a little bit smaller and not so big. I really do like it. So tomorrow night, we're going to teach how to do this on both TikTok and the tube. So I'm excited about this. It needed to be a little bit tighter right here. So what I'm going to probably do tomorrow night is take this one apart on the live and redo it. It should be like this. I didn't get my knot on the bottom up high enough, but I want to leave it right now so we can look at it as an example of what we should and shouldn't do. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. I'm excited because I really do like it as the 9 millimeter size. You guys let me know. What are your thoughts? Do you like it better? Hi. Do you like it better as a 12 and 15 or 12 and 9? All right. Thanks, Nordic Luna, because we have both. And to get ready, you like it better with the 15? I was going to say, to get ready for Saturday's 9 millimeter event, I'm going to be putting them in bags while we talk. So let's have all kinds of the questions. They do have to be related to beading, jewelry making, that type of thing. We're not going to be answering any other type of questions. And if it gets bad enough over there on the tube, sometimes it does, I will shut comments off. So yes, but guess what? We're going to put, there are going to be 5 in the bag is what we talked about. Hi, Geraldine. There we go. So we're going to have lots of little bags of these. We'll get 20 of each color, except for the ones that I use for the example for this tutorial. And I don't know what other color I'm going to use besides that one is soft strawberry is what color. They're being okay. Yep, this one is called Midnight Sapphire in the 9 millimeter size beads. Um, I was gonna say yesterday was close to 80. What do you need help with, Miss Lolly? Because we're here to help ya. You can do it. That's the hardest part is just actually hitting the button in all reality. And there are days when you're like, I got this, and you're going to beat it and you can do it. And then there are days where you're like, do I have to go live? Even after you've been doing it for 3 years. Because you're having a conversation with yourself. So Ducky says the hardest part for her is the talking. And it's because you're having a conversation with yourself. Just just start doing it. That's all. I'm like, do it, Lolly. Just do it. That's all I can say. Like, there isn't any sweet words for it. You can do it. That's what I want you to know. You got it. Yep. I am one you if you know, I am one of the few that show my face. You do not have to show your face. And I will tell you another thing that we talked about, I think last week in our chat time on, I don't remember what day it was, had to have been after Wednesday. And that is, I don't have a bag here. That wasn't it. Yep, and the thing is that, the one thing I want you to really, really understand is that it can take 3 months for it to go through. So even after you go live and you just do it, don't give up on yourself. If you guys could see me with what's happening on the other place, being here and doing what I'm doing here, I had in my mind, if I went there, it was just gonna be the same thing, and it is not. It had been a struggle for a week or 2 for me because I think they pushed me out the first couple of weeks because of being new, and then the algorithm is trying to put me into where I need to be, not just where it's pushing me. And the thing is that it literally takes 3 months to build it up. If you feel like you're talking to yourself because there's 0 up here in the number, just do it. And I'm going to say, just keep talking to yourself. Just talk just like there's somebody there, because sometimes what you don't know is that number up there may be wrong. And what I mean by maybe wrong, there are people that go out here that have the hidden mode on. I don't know how to do the hidden mode, so I can't tell you how to do it, but there is a hidden mode where you do not show up here. So There may be somebody there when you don't think there is someone. So just keep talking like it's there. You know, when I first started, I would sit here and I would show the same pieces of jewelry over and over and over again. Yep, you can do it also where you just get that like a minute or two. Yep, you guys got it both. That they're not even in the live. They're sitting out there like doing the scrolling, and you can sit and watch a live for a couple of minutes before it's going to go dark on you. At least for me, that's what happens. And you don't know that they're there. So just keep talking just as if someone was there, and just keep going. And the reason why is I don't want you to ever sit there and go, there's nobody here, I'm just going to get off. You can't have that negative talk while you're here on the camera. You just got to keep plugging away. If you brought, let's say you brought 20 items to the live and you thought it's going to take you the whole hour to go through it, and you got through it in a half an hour because nobody was commenting, you have another half an hour to practice. That's what it is. It is practice. And you know what? I have Nordic Luna and Ashley over there. I know it is. And my clothes in this transition are a lot of white. I know. Yep. And the thing is that you can just talk about it's your time. Hello from India. We're talking about jewelry here. Um, Literally, you just talk about how you made it if you don't want to go through it again. Just pick one out and say, I used A, B, C, D. This is how I do it. Just talk. Don't always be like, here's this, here's this, here's this when you're in that mode and showing, because remember, it's about building a connection with somebody. And what Ducky is talking about in her comment, she said, this is why I started off doing lives of nature to talk about my stuff, and I got them intrigued. And that is truly what it's about, is how do you get them a connection with you? Intrigued is a great word for it. And when you do that, it helps. I gotta grab some baggies to put the ones that are done and stickered in. So hold on a moment while I grab those. Because if you don't create some sort of way to communicate, they'll just keep on scrolling. You got to have them a reason to stop. I will be honest with you guys. I was not, if you go back to when I first started doing lives, Val had just moved out of the house. This room that I am sitting in did have this wall in it. This room is originally was my bead room. And I didn't work from home at that time, but I didn't want I have a desk over there for all of my stuff. Yep, it does. And I've seen people do BP stuff, pools, they sit with their pool behind them. So they're like, "Oh, somebody's just relaxing," and they stop. So, anyways, I took over Val's room for my lives and I thought, "Oh, people are going to stop." First tip I have to do is do your best. Yep. Yep. And then and Ryan was like, "Why aren't you doing it up here?" Yep, you can make a bracelet while you're doing a live. Um and I'm like, "Because it's so crowded in here. If I had to bring in a table to do it." And he's like, "Does it matter?" He's like, "You're only in here for a few hours a day, when I do my lives and when I'm packaging and all that kind of stuff." He's like, "You're not going to be in this room that much." Little did he know that COVID was going to be less than a year later. Or no, I wasn't up here in COVID. I was working from home. Why was I thinking I wasn't? Yeah, I was. So if you saw how little space I have in this room so that I can do the lives with this in the background, it is wool. Well, the one thing I will say though is that, you don't want, I had that thought of you don't want to do it when someone else is live. And I remember when Zuli was doing things every Saturday. And I'm like, well, that just sucks for me because that was back in the day my longest live. Hi, Murda. And I do have lives up against her. She has lives up against mine. Um, I know Vicky tries to like do them around my schedule, but the one thing someone told me was if I waited on everybody's schedule, I'd never go live. If you want us there, yeah, you got to do it without us, but you're going to you want your room that you are having right now to be larger than others. And the reason being is that you want to bring people in that wouldn't have seen any of us before. So that's what I'm going to say about that. You can start by us being there, but don't do your whole schedule based upon certain people. How's that? And I don't mean any disrespect. It's that when it is a growth thing that you want to do, you got to find the ways that you can grow. And there are certain times that are better than others for what we're doing. We can't say the S word here. So, but to get it going and get people in there, yes, you want to work around ours so that we can be there to support you, to get the comments in there, get the shares, get the likes, and get all the stuff so that you can succeed and get others into the room. Exactly. And that's the thing. Nordic Luna was it, she just happened to come in. What she's saying is true. But the great thing about it is that this is a community that grows more and more. So we need to find more and more people to grow our community. And we always talk about it's not all about saying you're coming in here to get things from me, and that's not the thing. Seriously, I'm going to use Mama Kay. She is Rose's mom. She loves the community. She loves hanging out here. She loves being able to um tap. Well, I'm not supposed to say that word. How about like? She likes sharing. She likes to see the growth that we have here. It's her time to be able to come in here. And you know what? I love that she's here. She is like awesome to have. And that's what we need to think about when we're doing this. You need people that are all things that they're going to do for you. I know we talk about this. I'm not saying anything new. Yep. And that's the thing is that, you will find people. Yep. See, she says you guys are her friends too. And now we're calling her now that she got her own TikTok. Thank you, Lucky Charm Boutique. Now that she got her own TikTok, we can now know that she's there. Before we were always like, "Hi, Kay," or "Hi." Rose's mom. But then when she came on, we all knew she's Kay, and now she's our Mama Kay. And that's what I just love about it. Yep. And that's what I'm saying is that I want you guys to think about people coming in when you are trying to start and grow your business. It isn't about, I'm going to say the word at the end of the day because we're having a discussion here and we'll see what happens. It isn't always about making the sale. It is about making connections, growing the community, growing the friendships, all of that. If we didn't have it, we wouldn't be here. And to me, that means a lot. Yes, I need a paycheck, but not at the price of what we have here. Thank you, Janet. So that's why I want to say when you're going to start, we're all here for you. Yep. We all bring something different. I have a question about Saturday. Do you guys want me just to bring just the 9 millimeters? Or if I have time and can find, like if I bring, I'm not going to be able to bring all the colors and get them ready by Saturday. So what I'm trying to get together is like 30 colors of the 9 millimeters. Do you want me to also bring, because we're not going to have the 12 millimeters at this time because they're still on a boat. But do you want me to bring, if I have 15 millimeters, the lentils and the abacuses, if I have them in those same colors? Do you want me to bring all of those or just keep it to 9? You guys let me know. No, I wasn't planning on, I don't have any new ones, so I wasn't planning to grab any of the focals. Just let everybody know. No focus, not focals. Huh? Did I say focus when I meant? I'm doing good. I know you haven't been on for like a week or two. We always have things going on in our lives that sometimes it's just the way it works out. Focus on the nines. Okay. Gotcha. I, oh, my abacuses, or not the abacuses, sorry, the hexagons or octagons. I can't remember what they, I think they're octagons, but everybody interchangeably uses hexagon and octagon. I can bring those. I can bring those at the end because I do have a container of each. And what I mean by a container of each is that they are 14 millimeter and 17 millimeters. And it has been a while and I do not have those out. How in the world does a piece of pink silicone get in with the grape? That's an oddball. I'm excited. You know why? I got 2 colors done so far while we've been talking. And we also got the pliers ready. It's not the pliers that I'm waiting for. Oh, see, I don't make them. So I'm like, I've watched them make them and I'm like, because it's a spy. I love it, Rose. So I am really, 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 really hoping to get, I want to get at least 30 colors done for Saturday. But I can tell you, you guys, making this one, even though we have a boo boo, we're going to redo it. But I want to leave this so I can show you the boo boos. Well, I have an aggressive week this week. And I was like, after I got done, I'm like, why did you do that? And I'm like, I'll be okay. I will be okay. I'm not going to stress. And last night, I sat down while Ryan was supposed to be watching his show, but he wasn't because, the eyes were closed, but he's still awake. We're going to laugh about men who do that all the time. I know Ryan's not the only one, but it cracks me up. Um, I sat and watched the show and I'm like, well, it had an ending. It was a Western and I'm not a big fan of Westerns, but I got him to wake up. But I got him to wake up because I honestly thought he had been awake because he kind of shifted in his chair. So I was like, oh, he woke up. I'm going to ask him this question. So in this Western that we were watching, um, it had James Best. And if anybody knows who James Best is, I'm going to see. Does anybody know? Put it in the comments if you know who it is. And so I went to ask him, and you got it, Geraldine. And so I was like, I wanted to ask him. I go, is that Roscoe? I even said that. I said, Roscoe P. Coltrane. And he goes, yep, it is. I said, okay. But it was like, it took him a moment to reply. And I'm like, were you sleeping? And he's like you were sleeping. Like, seriously? Well, this one, we're going to have 21 bags of it because we got 5 extra 9 millimeters in there. So I got to get a sticker for him later. But we're gonna have 21 packs of the grape. Trying to figure out how in the world am I gonna make sure that I get him a sticker. See, my husband has been on a kick with those lately, and I don't know why, because he's never really watched them before. So I'm like, okay. Yep, that one had the pink spy in it too. So that's why I honestly thought, they usually do these by, excuse me, by weight and not usually count them out. um, and so sometimes I'm like, you'll get an extra one or you'll be low. And then with having that piece of that silicone in there, I'm like, it's going to be low. Nope, I got 5 extra. Okay. Well, and they go off of the weight of the size, but what I'm finding too is that the colors are not all the same weight. And I find that very interesting. So even like today for our debut event tonight, the larger acrylic beads, I've rearranged some stuff so I can't get to it now because I rearranged it to I don't know where. Um those larger curved tubes that are acrylic. Yep. And that's what I was wondering if different dyes way more than others because they can all be the same thing, but they weigh differently. And I'm like, whoa. Especially those acrylics, the same bead, everything. They have a difference of 2 grams between the lightest and the lightest and the heaviest. Okay. And it was the red that was the heaviest. I don't have black. So now I learned something new. So thank you. Yay, me. I can't go home because I'm already home. We used to say that all the time when I was at work. I learned something new, so it's time to go home. And then when we started working from home, we'd say it and we're like, but we're already home. Hello to everybody over here on YouTube. We're just having a chat time. It is the time where we talk about all things bead related, jewelry making, accessories, that type of thing. Go. I don't think I'm going to have an extra one of that one. So far, I've only had one extra bead that didn't complete a 5 pack. That'll go into my little bucket. Yes, it will be, Ducky. The price point of what they cost is the same for the 9 as is for the 15. I don't know yet if the 12 millimeter is going to be the same way or not. I'm waiting. I haven't even done the calculations for that. I thought it was kind of odd. They are a 5 pack for one, and each of the colors has 100 beads per color. So we'll have 20 packs for each color, is what we're going to have on Saturday for the ones that we bring Saturday. Oh, we got an extra 5 in this one too. Well, ain't that special? Like, I didn't think I had an extra one, but I do. Because there's 4, 6, 8, no, okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6. Oh, yeah, 17. Because I used what would be the equivalent of 4 packs for this. That's why I'm like, there's not 20 there. Yeah, the bucket isn't really growing very much. He's got one. They're giving me an actual 5. I gotta take the garbage out. Hey, I'm gonna get done. I thought I was gonna do 5 of these and get them labeled and all ready. Literally thought that's all I was gonna get done during the live while we were talking. I'm on the 5th one right now. So you know what that means? I'll probably get more, but then I'll have to print out some more stickers after the live, which is fine. Awesome. Proud mommy moment, Ducky. Yeah. I just thought, oh, I'm going to be all over the place like I normally am when I talk. But these are easy to get in the bag. Does she know she's getting it, or is it a surprise to her too? I'm like, it's so cool. Okay. You have to tell us later. I'm excited for her. That is so special. So he was the driver's ed teacher in the school district and was also like for a long time the wrestling coach. He was the government teacher. And when he got COVID 4 years ago, he had a very, very hard time. They thought everything was going to go good and that he would get out of the hospital and such. And he had setback after setback after setback. And he has spent the last 4 years either in the hospital or in a rehab facility. And he just passed away today. So I had to tell my kids one of their teachers passed away. Well, that's awesome. That is I have one kid that is extremely gifted in math and science. And then Buttercup seriously takes after, but not in um math or science. She is an extreme reader, which so is Val, but and writer. She is like awesome in that. Yeah. It was like I mean, we knew it was coming because of how hard his health has been hit, and they did let everybody know that it was going to be shortly last week. So, yep. But Buttercup, math and her, nope. And I'm wondering about social studies. Thank you, Rev. Thank you. Um, because she did a test in social studies and it was not the greatest results. And I was like, holy buckets, kiddo. Officially 5 done, and we still have 15 more minutes. And we're only 2.4 away, everybody. We've got our shares. We got the share goal. Yep. I was gonna say that is awesome, Nordic Luna. I actually totally loved history. And I never knew why I loved history. I just knew I loved it. And when my grandma on my mom's side, she would have been, I gotta think about it, 81 is when she started having her strokes. And she ended up coming from their small town hospital to Sioux Falls for care for a while. And I would go on my lunch hours and go sit with my grandpa. You can always think you're not going to make the same mistakes by history, but guess what? It keeps repeating itself. But my grandpa and I during that time, because my grandma wasn't always coherent, and she or my grandpa and I sat and talked about history. And I'm like, he was actually both of my grandparents on my mom's side went to college and he was a history major. Um, I was gonna say they have the camps. And so we want to get her into those even starting now this summer, possibly for the different camps at our zoos. We don't have colleges right around us. We do have two small colleges, but they're not into the animal stuff. That's awesome. I think that's great. But we would have to go to like colleges that are a little bit further away from us to get those. So, but she had, yep, and that's what Val ended up having so much college credits because of doing stuff too. And that helps. Helps, helps, helps. Um, but I gotta tell you what she got to do yesterday. She wasn't even, it was so funny. She wasn't even like she didn't it was funny the way she reacted to this. So, anyways, she's been wanting to go to my sister's for like the last week because my sister has a horse, as we all know, and she has the chickens and the ducks and the dogs and all of that. Ooh, that might be, I was going to say, there might be a little connection going on there. But anyways, she went over there yesterday and my sister called and talked to Ryan before we left, and she's like, I have a surprise for her. And he's like, what is it? And she's like, ducks are hatching right now. So before she got there, my sister had a few ducks hatch, and but then they kept hatching throughout the day. And so she got to assist with the hatching of the little chicks. And to her, it was like, um, to her, it was just like, that's what you just do. You're there to help. Like it's not a big deal. And to me, I'm like, not very many kids get to watch chickens hatch. So yeah, so that's what she did yesterday. Got to see that. So yeah, now the conversation in the chat that I'm seeing just makes me, as a mama, want to cry about. This is what we were talking about earlier here. This is a community that is there for each other. So I'm glad you're all talking about this so that you can make these connections and help. And I can tell you as a mama, when Courtney went away for something for school, all the way into Chicago, and one of my friends from junior high and high school was closer. And so she's like, you need anything? I'm an hour away and I'll get to her. And that's just, I mean, I know you're quicker there, Lolly, but it's just the fact that you got somebody to help, that you're just not leaving your little kids. I know they're not little, but they're still little in your mind, out there to fend for themselves. Yep, she's I don't think she's seen any other I'm like trying to think. She might have seen puppies with her dad, but she is really into that. That's why she wants to do some sort of animal thing. Right now, it's more leaning towards marine biology. But she loves animals. I know. That's what I love. That's what I love about this is that we are just growing. And who would have thought? I have a bead running away. Who would have thought that, as some people say, you're on TikTok, that TikTok would have given us this world that we're in? I think it is amazing. So that's what I'm going to say. And here we can actually talk and have conversations and that type of thing. There are other social medias where is that's not the vibe of it. Ooh, we'll probably be down. Yep, marine biology. She is she is really into sea life right now. I know. There are some things that you're just like, yeah, but the thing is that if you I was talking with Ryan about something over the weekend, and I said, if you If you always look for the bad, you're the negative. That's the word I said. If you always look for the negative, it's going to bring you down. I always, even though we have negative things that happen here in the social media world, trust me, we do. Um, the thing is that there is that positive that I just love. And I mean, I'm looking at their I've been following some things about we use yep. Um the thing that I sit back and that's what I was telling Ryan is we always need to find the positive. Let's find the positive. Let's find the good. Let's not dwell on the negative because if we do, it's just going to bring us down. And there are days that I get off of my lives and I'm like, okay, that was hard. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Some days it is hard. But if I look at overall, like what this community does, I'm so utterly grateful to have this community. That's what I'm going to say. And yes, you know what, Nordic Luna? Buttercup is enjoying those. She really is. And I'm still not at a point where I am allowing her like something happened the other day with Pinterest. I've been letting her do go out to Pinterest to look at stuff. And I didn't know this that you could even do this in Pinterest. You can message people in Pinterest. And I didn't realize that. And she's using my Pinterest account that's tied to my me. So if she does certain things, but I already had them set up. And so I was getting notified. Hi Gladys, that she was messaging somebody. And I'm like, why are we messaging somebody in Pinterest? And she's like, because they asked for different types of books that I've read. They were asking for more of this type of book. And I'm like, okay, I'm not too on board with that. And she's like, all I wanted to do was share some book titles with her. And I'm like, okay, but I could get I could get the messages back and forth. And I could also, I don't look at Pinterest very often. I know I probably shouldn't be saying those, but I don't. And so I don't go in there, but the way I have notifications turned on, I was getting them anytime anything was being sent. So I'm like, okay, I will know what's going on here. But holy buckets, it scared me. And so I'm not, and even yesterday, my sister um took a picture of Buttercup and she even asked me before posting it, can I post this picture? And I'm like, it is so stinking daggone cute. And I'm like, yeah, because her Facebook is really closed down for privacy. So I'm like, yes, you can. And that's part of why I know I've had friend requests for my personal account on the FB, but I don't do those unless it's somebody like here that I know. And the reason being is I want to keep her safe. So, but even my sister knows how I am about it. So she's like, can I post this picture? And it's so funny because before, when she was a baby, we have such a timeline of her being growing up. And now, with how social media has changed, we're like, nope, no more posts. Isn't that just silly how we've changed to keep her private? And my first ever tube video is actually her. Yep, it's a scary place, and that's why. Um, it actually that memory of when we went to go do that just came up. It was 8 years ago, everybody. 8 years ago was the first one. Yep. And I am just like, yep, nope, nope, we're not posting. Yep. And we don't get to go on that hardly ever. Hey, this one I actually will go have 4 extra of this little one so I can make something. Yep, there are. And that's what we only need. I want to get there, everybody. 800. Yep. As and you know what? I will tell you, um, there was a game that Val wanted, and I was like, okay, thank you, Rose. I was like, okay, I'll go get it for you. And this is at the time when it wasn't like you went online and did it. You had to go get the physical game. And I said I would. And then Val told their dad that they wanted it. And Val's dad called me and he's like, "You are not getting that game." And I'm like, "What's the big deal?" And he's like, "There are places that you can hack and go," and was telling me the kinds of things that happened in there. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, no, we're not doing that game." I didn't know it because I don't play games. I'm like, I was gullible. And then I'm like, "Did you know you could do this?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Were you trying to buffalo me?" No. Yay, we did it. I knew you could. You guys almost got 1,000 after I said we just needed 800. Woohoo. Now I got to figure out where we're at. Here we are. All right, everybody. It's a one word. Yeah, it just like holy buckets. All right, I'm going to give you guys a clue. It is a condiment. Thank you, Lori. Oh boy, 4 of you guessed it. Let's see. Lolly was first. No, 5 of you got it. Then it was Ducky, Geraldine, Nordic Luna, and Murda. Whoa. It's mustard. That was the so Lolly, you got 5 creative credits. Woohoo! Like, wow. So mustard was the color. Just takes one word. So congratulations, Lolly. Oh, that's okay. We were just talking about community. I'll be back, everybody, at 8 p.m. tonight if you want to join me, and that is Central Time. It will be TikTok only. It is where we're going to have a debut of some new beads. So far, everything that I have pulled, and I don't have it all stickered yet, so I don't know if they're all 100%, but they are a they are going to all be new so far. We have a bead cap. We have those 5 acrylic, larger tubes that we had when we did I showed them when we were looking at them the other night. We also have a, um, naturals, we have Hagar, we have lots of glass, and then we also have 2 of the, pendants that we can use, um, like what we had for ideas on last week. So we've got that going. Holy buckets, that's a little bit late. So that's what we have for tonight. So if you guys want to come in and join us, that would be great. I'm going to have over 20 items. I have two gorgonias, just to let you know. They are the last 2 of the oval cat eye gorgonias. And then we have to make a decision of where we want to go to next. I have some other gorgonias. So I will need you guys to let me know what way we want to go to next. But that's what we got, everybody. I hope you have a great afternoon and we can see you later. Okay? Bye.